So our first part of the show, we are talking about. Actually, the whole show is about the Marvel missteps.
Stop it.
Uh,
Stop it.
Fantastic Four First Steps recently dropped. Um, and in my opinion, it's a good film. It's a fun film to sit back and watch.
I enjoyed it.
It has a very 60s aesthetic. It does not take place in the 616 universe as we know it to be. It's on a totally different Earth.
Thank
Pedro
you.
Pascal, who was one of
Earth
the other
18.
hardest working men in Hollywood right now, once again is playing a dad.
An
Know your
autistic
role.
dad at that.
Yeah. So
No, for
uh,
real.
I will say this:
Excuse me.
they got Galactus right. They got the set
Salahal.
designs. Every set design, Jack Kirby infused.
Mhm.
That's all I seen. I
Mhm.
seen nothing but Jack Kirby, and I said, if this man was alive, he'd probably shed a tear from happiness, of course. And I wasn't wrong. I'm just looking at stuff, and I'm like, okay, the '60s aesthetic is Jack Kirby. The Fantastic Car is Jack Kirby.
Mhm.
These design when they go see Galactus, and I'm like, this is all Jack.
Mhm.
This is all the king right here, and I wasn't disappointed. So I want to ask one of the questions that Mayhem set up was, do you think Galactus was defeated too easily?
Lord, okay.
You
I'll
want to
wait.
go first?
No, no, y'all got it. Go off.
I feel like you want to go off
No,
this
no,
shit.
no,
Oh
no.
no,
No, because how he was defeated, Kira was all on board because somebody and I'm not putting on Pedro. I'm like, look, he's carrying everything else. He might need to take a breather right now. Uh, Vanessa Kirby, no relation, as Invisible Woman, fantastic. She there wasn't any using the shield and nosebleeds.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
No.
She was very much in tune with what she needed to do.
I don't think he was defeated too easily, only
Mhm.
because in this iteration of Galactus, he was only, what's the best way I can do it? It's like it's almost like a fledgling version of him.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're just discovering it for the first time, and he's so focused on his hunger that he only knows so much of what he can and can't do. So I don't think he was defeated all that easily. But at the same time, they could have had him do it just a little bit more.
Right.
And I liked how if you've never seen the movie, and I've seen it twice, so yeah, if you don't like me, oh well.
What fan doesn't see a movie more than once? I seen it once. It wasn't my cup of tea. Whatever.
No, I saw it twice. Shout outs to being a Jack Kirby fan from 9 on up. But I thought the highlight on Sue was where I got my most joy, honestly, because if we talk about the Fantastic Four of the team, she is unspeakably the most powerful out of the entire team.
Yes.
The most powerful out of the entire team. Shout out to the GOAT himself.
Yes. Jack Kirby. That was a painting that was done for me because I'm a fan of Lee Kirby and several others, and I still need to get some of those paintings too. But yeah, I agree. Yeah.
The highlight should have been, and from the beginning you could tell the highlight was on her, which is what I enjoyed. And when they went through the cosmic storm, I sat there and I thought, Ben Strong, Johnny's fiery, Reed is stretch, but her power is so hidden. Hers has more layers than all the other ones. So I appreciated how they do it. So I don't think he was easily defeated.
Lady Mandalore.
Yeah,
Yep.
no. Yeah. Is anybody?
I'll-
I'm cool. I'm waiting. I got time. I'm cool.
Remember,
okay,
we got an hour and a half. Okay, remember that. We got an hour and a half.
I feel like
Okay, I'm gonna give it to our movie aficionado over here, Mayhem.
I didn't think he was defeated too easily in real time. after I left the theater and I saw some of the discourse online and people were complaining about it, I think maybe to Navy's point of how strong Sue actually is, maybe they could have laid some of that groundwork a little earlier. Because when they first see Galactus, they're like, holy shit, what the hell is that? But then like they just push him into a big hole and it's like, oh, okay, that didn't all right, we were kind of a little nervous for nothing there. Just
I think
maybe
it's more. I think it speaks more or less because I mean, this is a spoiler section. We're not holding anything back. It's been a while. I think because she's a mother now. Because they didn't waste any time. We didn't need the origin story. They got right past all of that. They do it like in a bit of an exposition, but there's really no flashback or anything like that, other than I think a radio transmission that was heard or something.
Yeah,
like
just
that.
a documentary-esque with the transmission overlaid in the background.
They didn't, which I appreciate because we don't always need that. So providing that, this team has been here. This has been Earth's protectors. They've been here for a while, and they get right to the pregnancy of Franklin Richards. And I think because once she becomes a mother, she doesn't realize, as they say, that mama strength kicked in.
Oh, did it ever?
So that's how I took it.
I saw somebody said it was like, that pinned child under a car, like you magically find the strength to do what you need to do. I was like, all right, cool. I see it.
For me, it was also the fact that everyone is fighting around trying not to crush this unfortunate infant who was caught in the middle of all this. So he didn't even have both hands free. Like, maybe he gets because he's not dead. He's just lost. So
he's moved to another part of space. We're not sure where, because that was the whole idea, was them building this massive, complicated machine that would move Earth. And because Silver Surfer destroyed most of those projections, they read like, well, why don't we try to move him? The whole
they was like, we just take Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else.
So I don't. And then it wasn't Reed or it wasn't Susan by herself neither. It was actually everybody had a hand in how this all built up. And I like that this went and got right to it and told the story and didn't really waste a lot of time. The Mole Man thing was a pleasant surprise.
That was hilarious. Okay.
Yeah, because what you see in a lot of films, a lot of the superhero films, is like the villain dies. And here, because of Susan's compassion and understanding, he's like, no, there's a reason why he's upset. And she's created this truce between Upper Earth and Lower Earth.
Subterranean.
Subterranean. So she managed to create that, and he's very much the underminer. Yeah,
that's basically what he is. That whole movie is basically just the not Fantastic Four featuring Mole Man.
Yeah, that's what the Incredibles were. Everything in the Incredibles is every bit Fantastic Four. They took their keys. They took their cues from old FF issues. So yeah, I Tafari, go ahead. I'm gonna let you get your.
And I feel like they talked up her diplomacy a lot, but like you said, they could have shown her skill set a little bit more in the beginning. Like I think we were supposed to see more, even with like Red Ghost, because we saw them take down 1/8, but then they cut him out the film completely.
John Malkovich completely cut out the film, which I thought was
weird.
An odd choice.
Yeah,
you got a high-ranking actor and you cut him completely. That's kind of weird.
What did you say, sir?
That just means he can come back as someone else.
But yeah, so I think at times where they could have showcased her powers was basically replaced with Johnny and Ben. Basically, the whole movie saying, "I'll fight anyone, anywhere." Because they immediately showed Galactus not immortal, he's just big. Because they immediately went to work and just started breaking shit on the way out, which I'm like, I appreciate it. We're at least not waiting for the action. Because Johnny was just like, all right, we tried diplomacy. That shit didn't work. And then Ben with the linebacker blitz on Shala Ball into the wall. I'm like, okay, so she's not immortal either. At least we know she can be touched.
Yeah.
But I feel like when they I don't know, I was expecting a little bit more motherly rage during the whole stressed out birthing scene. But yeah, I like what they did for her in the end, even though it came at the cost of her literal life. But I'm curious to see if she's done with diplomacy after this, or if they put her back into Naruto Talk No Jutsu standards for whatever else she's gonna be in.
I don't see them taking that character and doing Snotty Kitty. Oh my god. I don't see them taking Susan's like diplomacy path away. Like, because actually I think that's very endearing. What I liked about this film is each one of these characters embodied everything I've read about them over the years, but they kind of expanded a little bit. Like, Thing, the city loves him despite his look. He's not hung up on that. You know, he's accepting. He's confident. You know, he's not afraid to go talk to anyone. In this case, is Natasha Lyonne. So he's like, and she's very receiving of it. The kids love him. You know, he's not this big creature, you know, with the ugly mug that everybody's scared of. He's walking freely in New York City with no problem. Johnny is every bit Johnny. Shout out to Joseph Quinn. He's phenomenal. You know, he runs into Silver Surfer and he was like, yeah, hot alien. You know, I'm like, yeah, that's Johnny. That's Johnny. But then they also show like he's not this big dumb hunk. He has
a PhD. He has a PhD.
Everyone has some level of like education this time around. It's not just Reed and friends in the sky.
Yeah, like he's doing his thing. Like when they go to break down like the language that he hears, and he's like, I heard it before, and there's a bunch of recordings that Reed had, and he's literally like, I could put this together, and he figures it out. And I'm like, I like this touch. Mm-hmm. They didn't make him just quippy. Yeah, a quippy
horny hothead. They just what they did.
Yeah.
They didn't make him a horny hothead. That's what it boiled down to.
You know, and Pedro playing Reed was every bit of all science. He gets distracted. That's a form of autism, you know, or ADHD, however you want to look at it. But even when that deal was being brought to the table, and you could see in his face, and even Susan was like, "Oh my God,
I know you not."
He said he considered. It was considered not going to be a.
But see, it's a thing that Reed does. Mm-hmm. He thinks so much about the greater good and how to fix everything that sometimes his decision making, or at least the paths that he creates, aren't the paths that you need to be walking down anyway.
He goes around the corner to go next door, literally.
Say it, man. Say it.
All I was gonna say is that I think as Reed is presented, as far as just thinking of every possible outcome all at once, I think my brain works a lot like that. So me personally in the theater, I was like, if this nigga don't learn to lie, it is pissing me off.
That was me. I would have been like, he wants all our firstborn children.
Right.
Like we would have been prepping, like, because they were technically gone a month. So I'm like, we would have been finessing a game plan in the ship every day and be like, okay, before we land, everyone go over their lines.
Or let Sue speak, and he's standing behind, just looking apprehensive, just looking out at the reporters.
Just mind your business, baby.
Let
me talk to people. That's what I do.
Like, you got Ben there. Clearly, no one's going to rush you. They know better. That's why nobody tried to overstep the line for the press. They knew what not to do on GP. And then when they were like, give up the baby, and then Ben came outside, I was like, you know what?
What?
I wasn't familiar with your game. I'm just.
What were you saying?
What were you? Peace, love, and chicken grease. What were we saying now? Like,
without the
Also,
chicken grease.
I'd be upset though if I had to like turn my Nintendo off every day at 6 p.m. and the shit didn't work though. I'm just.
I found that to be the funniest thing, and I'm like, they got everyone to cut their power off.
On the planet.
Everyone
On the planet.
on the same time.
Everyone except Latveria. It's just
I was about to say that.
every day. They're like they're probably floating in Earth. Like, which one is Earth? And like, see the one with the little light bulb over there? Like, like that one little area is Latveria. It's like, I'm not doing it. Like, out of spite. It's like the Tournament of Power when Goku was like, I need a spirit bomb. And Vegeta was like, fuck y'all, I'm not doing it.
Boo.
But no, and I can appreciate how each one of these characters were portrayed. It really worked because seeing Reed have that look of, I thought about it, I don't want to do it, but Sue seeing right through it, hence her instantly getting pissed. Yeah.
Can we talk about the MVP, Herbie?
Herbie,
was.
If you see the behind the scenes of how they make, they are so close. They are so close to like having an actual working robot on sets of movies. It's ridiculous. I think it's cool.
If Elon asked to contribute, no,
because it wouldn't be his in the first place. He would have stole the design from somebody.
Herbie would have looked like the Cybertruck. So
I'm just saying, like, if he's like, I think AI can tweak it. No, not a chip, not a dip, not nothing. Stay away from Herbie.
I will say this: that point where Galactus comes to Earth, and it surprises Herbie. Now
He
Herbie
said,
talks
"What
in
the
a
fuck?"
bunch of beeps, and I swear to God, that's what I thought he
He
said.
said, "What the fuck? This movie needs to be rated R because Herbie dropped 2 F-bombs as far as I'm concerned."
Is the way I looked at it is like, R2D2, Chopper from the Star Wars Rebels, like when they cursing, you can tell it's inflection. And so I was like, damn, I learned how to read droid. Thanks, Star Wars. So just hearing Herbie doing, I'm like, yeah, that was what the fuck. That was what the fuck. But everything about this, to me, the aesthetic, the setup, the designs, seeing the behind the scenes, which we've seen earlier today when they showed the behind the scenes of how they made her. This is what that movie magic is all about. Like, I come from an era where I remember Johnny 5 and I just thought that was cool. And then you see the wires and how they made him work. And I'm like, now we're not even using wires anymore. So I can dig it.
I do like how they portrayed Ben, because
yes,
we never see him go through the gradual transformation, which is great, but we see him looking at reflections of himself in the, just
kind of glances.
Yeah, and just desires, like, you could tell deep inside, he's like, this is not what I wanted. I didn't want any of this. But what got me is when he grew a beard and he was shaving that beard. Let me tell you,
the rock beard.
I giggled so hard. I was like,
hey, Laney.
Rock beard, let's go. Lady!
I remember someone actually saying, there's a scene when Galactus is there on Earth and he grabs Reed and he basically is stretching him.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just like, well, he should be able to be used to that. And I say, no, you got to think about it. There's a size difference here. Like, this is Galactus, where he's probably never went that far. That's like beyond his. That's like beyond his point. He's like, yo, this is way past what I'm used to doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's something you should have a little more give than that. Like, I mean,
like I'm thinking, it's just
like use his full wingspan. If that's what we gonna do. Like,
okay, I'm gonna give y'all some perspective. Okay, just because I can push a whole baby out my body,
I knew she was gonna do.
Doesn't mean that everything's gonna be all right.
Moses.
Okay, at the pushing. And some things you got to stitch it back together on some parts. Okay, I'm just saying perspective. Everything don't stretch for fucking ever. We can figure that
This
out.
anatomy lesson is brought to you by Milk Duds because why not?
No, but and she has a very valid and strong point. Like it's if you're not used to doing that, how would you know you could? You know,
ain't nobody who stretch. Okay, I'm a,
this is Galactus. We're not talking about like when he's wrapping his arms around some girders trying to stop a building or something like. No, we're talking Galactus.
I'm a pre-pause myself. Pre-pause. Who out here is stretching out Reed like that?
And Safari tried to judge me.
Wait, what?
He did. Who's stretching out that Reed?
Gone at Mayhem, son of a mother, man, come on, bro.
Yes.
I judge nothing. I'm just saying.
And I'm glad I'm not the only, and I'm sure that there's other people who agree with what me and Kira are saying. But it's true. It's like, yo, if they haven't met a threat like this.
No. Ew.
You know, still learning their powers though. They're still learning the extent of everything too.
Yeah, like nobody knew Susan would be able to at least hold him off, and with a final pass out, you know, a Hail Mary, so to speak, guide him through the portal, which he didn't manage to come back out of anyway. But yeah.
So happy her nose didn't bleed.
I was waiting for it. I was waiting for either a nosebleed,
so tired of it,
a blood vessel in the eye, or like an aneurysm or something. But like something, or maybe they're saving that for like when Jean goes full.
I mean, the only thing they didn't do in this film is have Johnny go supernova.
Which
I thought that was coming when he was like, "Yep, tell Uncle John." I was like, somebody's not making it out of this, and then Johnny with the big brain, just that I like that change because the womanization was implied, but not the focus of his whole character.
Right.
But see, that's what I liked about this movie is that you don't meet them when they're at the apex of their abilities. You see them still learning everything because it's still new to them. They don't even know to the extent of what they can do. What Sue did,
everything is almost.
I'll say because even like
almost street level.
Yeah, it's instinctual, and you know what do you do as human beings? You can only do so much, and you recognize that ability, but you don't know how far that can go. And the same thing with them. Cosmic Rays didn't come with instructions. It's like the greatest American hero. We got the suit. We don't have the instructions.
Lost the instructions.
Lost
twice.
The instructions. Meanwhile, you bouncing all over the place, flying through the air. What the hell am I doing? And I think that's what made it so endearing because we saw them try so hard to be human instead of superheroes, but still try to combine both worlds. And they were and it was clashing. It was genuinely clashing.
Yeah.
She definitely was the most tactical because, like, using your powers to magnify his eyes so Johnny at least gets a straight shot to blind the man. I'm like, they've either been practicing like off the clock or she's very aware of her abilities more than everyone else. She was very much, I won't say battle tested, but she was ready when the moment came, either verbally or physically.
Wait,
hold on, because I
would say we've been waiting for it. Go ahead.
All right, so sorry because
I got my snacks. I'm ready.
Y'all are touching on points that I had already set up. So first of all, nobody defeated Galactus. He was paused. If you were going to say anyone defeated Galactus, it was Shala Bal. Because she took her whole body and her whole strength and did the final push to get him all the way through that and that was it. That was her one shot to punch him through that hole. Sue was super strong in pushing him back, but she wasn't going to be the one to just like hit him with the one punch force field and get him through the hole.
Right.
Second part of all of this is why I find it troubling. This has been a trouble since the inception of fucking comics and women in comics. Why is it so easy to believe what is that man's name? Johnny can pick up a language he's heard maybe once in his life, comb through thousands of other languages, decode it, and then talk to Shala Ball in her language. But it's hard to believe that a woman with superhero powers and force field powers can just push a motherfucker through a hole. Are you like how? I know those are two different skills, but if you can suspend your disbelief for Johnny, I need y'all to work on suspending the disbelief for Sue.
I agree.
Wild.
Counterpoint.
I know. I agree. No, I agree. It's the same. I think that comes from the same crowd that when they found out about Shala Ball, it was just like, she's not the Silver Surfer, and I'm like,
Yes,
she was.
She was the original. Technically, she was the original Silver Surfer.
Exactly. And Norrin Rad, who we know as the current Silver Surfer, was her husband. So comics, everybody.
The material's out there.
It was a sister tag team for the win.
Yeah, so it was just and they're like, oh, they're gender swapping. It's not a gender swap.
What was your counterpoint, Chaos Demon?
Oh no, I was gonna say counterpoint. I didn't believe Johnny could do that shit either. But
that was me.
I had a bigger problem with that scene. It's the fact that Johnny took over all of New York's televisions with something on his watch. I'm like, what type of CIA fucking technology do y'all have that they just like look the other way on? Because that's wild.
Well,
that's what I was thinking. I was like, not only, I'm like, how much does the world trust y'all? Because you just got access to like all of basically Times Square, and the entire world is apparently watching this happen because y'all are the only thing on TV right now for people that still have power. Like,
to be fair, they've shown themselves to be the only protectors because they never revealed any other heroes in this particular world.
Maybe that was part of Johnny's brand deal. Like, hey, you're gonna drive by that billboard and light it on fire 5 times a day, and in exchange, we'll give you access. But also Johnny just keeping up the old Fantastic Four lore. Because remember when Reed had to like curse Malice out of like her brainwashing with like toxic masculinity, and then Johnny was like, "All right, here's my trap card: accountability."
So but see, I'm with Kira on it. It isn't just this film or this medium. It's like across the board, and we know what it is. It's toxic masculinity, and like if these people aren't even real. I'm just
don't start mayhem.
That was my whole. You know what it was? When he played all the dying planets. When he played all the dying planets, and her reaction was just to like hot girl scream into the camera and then leave. I'm not gonna lie, I laughed a little bit because I just seen Superman and I was like, what's with the screaming close-ups with like the full show of teeth? She just like panic yelled and then just dipped, and I'm like, okay. I guess
she had to recollect her actions. She had to be held accountable for.
Like she didn't
just come here by herself.
I was expecting it to drag out. Like, no, stop, and he just keeps playing voices. She just said, nope, panic yell and full flee. She has fleed like a Pokemon battle when the ball didn't land. It was
what the furrow.
I mean, she sacrificed herself to be his herald to save her planet, in return to give him other planets to feed. And all she pretty much says, "Oh, here's a planet. Go over there." She never sticks around for the aftermath or the current anything. She's just, I gotta go find another spot because it's gonna be hungry again. And
I mean, you don't feel that in that big ass ship, or is it just like a speed? I'm like, yep, we hit another one.
Oh no, she's just like, yeah, go over. He's over there. I gotta go and find some other stuff because probably in another week he's gonna be hungry again. She just doesn't stick around, and I think her being faced with that, which is a ghostwriter type thing to do, which plot armor, they did it in the cartoon. That was weird.
To Mayhem's point, can y'all learn to lie? Because could y'all make the trap look less obvious versus everyone? Like, why are you standing there holding the switch? You can stretch. You could literally be around the corner and then like what? Y'all got the baby on the platform with the 4 pillars, all looking at him like just a little. I'm like, y'all didn't think he was gonna. The man could see a baby before it was born. You didn't think he was gonna figure this out?
Wow. But see, and I think that's the appeal of this, though, and that's why I had such a kinship with this particular film, because again, they're facing a threat that they've never experienced. They've got abilities that they still don't know much about. All they have is their brains. So what we may consider a tactical error may not be so obvious to those particular characters in the way it's created. So, I'm expecting all of these massive amounts of errors. But I think what I appreciate is the ability and desire to try and just think on the fly, considering the circumstance. So
I'm glad Tafari mentioned the baby, which is Franklin Richards. It's really no teaser because they even threw it in the film, like she's pregnant, having a baby. And Franklin Richards, he's a different type of kid, and we're not just talking about the baby, but he's a different type of kid. But he's very much a child. Well, he's more of a teenager now, but like this man creates pocket worlds.
Are we talking about the movie or the comics?
The comics version of Franklin.
Okay. I was like, wait, what? When did
Not really sure what this version of Franklin can do yet. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't want to say OP him, because when they make him that way in the comics, it's not really OP. It's
he's already there.
Yeah.
We just didn't see him glow and fly.
All we've seen is he brought his mom back. He brought Susan back from the brink of death.
Not the brink of death.
Death. No.
So we saw Franklin
with the power of love.
We saw Franklin become the world's first human defibrillator.
If he had pulled the camera back a little further, we'd have seen Aubrey Plaza just standing there like, yeah.
And even then, it is like it is 3 men and a baby moment, because why are y'all putting this infant on this corpse? Like, why? I was like, I get it. It literally preludes the car seat scene, because another woman would have been like, how about no?
Yeah.
Any other woman in New York would have been like, how about we don't? Even though it was a life-saving tactic, no one was there to. It was all three of them going. It seemed like a good idea at the time.
They were all in Subterranea, because thanks to Mo Man, thanks to Susan and Mo Man, he's just like, we need to get everybody out of here. Can we shift them down there to you for a little bit?
Like, I knew what he was gonna do, and then imagine being an infant and getting called a liar before you're born. That's just crazy. He's not even here. He hides from you. Like, he's still in there. What do you mean?
He hides his true nature.
So before we go to break, what's everybody's rating for Fantastic Four First Steps? Lady Mandalore.
Same as Superman 8.
Okay. Mayhem.
Yeah, solid 8. That was right. Yeah.
Tafari.
I'll go 8.5, just because it's a lot of sciencey stuff, and I get it. A lot of people aren't going to take to that too well. They're very much playing into the whole era of what the Fantastic Four is, and I get a lot of people won't get that. So yeah, it was good for what it was, but I get it. A lot of people aren't gonna. What did I miss? What did he do now?
What is going on?
It's the comment section.
I've learned to look down. I look down. I will not have my soul.
The people are playing into the whole. That was a bad place to pause.
They're playing into every aspect of the Fantastic Four, not just cry pretty. Like, so, and I get it. People aren't gonna take to the whole sciencey bits and just get to the fights, but that's not what they're about. But I'll give them that score for that.
Okay, Navy
9.5.
Okay, I'll say 8.5 myself. I liked it. A lot of action, a lot of sciencey stuff, because I read a lot of Fantastic Four anyway. You learn to get past certain things because it's not like you would understand it anyway. But just wait till Valeria shows up.
The end credit scene could have done more. Like, I was expecting a face reveal, a turn.
Oh no!
Or at least a either very serious or very casual. Oh, it's just Victor.
No. Nobody said that that's Victor.
They are dragging
Nope.
crumbs. They are dragged. They're going to drag
it just feels like
It was perfect in the way they did it. It was perfect in the way
you
they
think
did
so? Because I was like, why
Yeah.
give us that? Like, we know
You
he's
don't
coming.
need to know everything. You need the hints to make it.
They were not paying Robert Downey Jr. to turn to the camera. That was Tony from Crafts. That's who that was.
No, that was Tony Stank in the that was one of the extras on stage from Hall H when they revealed him last year.
So
I think that was Agatha. I'm just gonna sit back and just let that.
I mean, they were holding the mask, so
and
who
we
knows?
never saw the face.
That's something I thought Franklin was like fixing his face or something, but
I think Franklin was brushing away a tear.
We don't know.
I'm a little child.
I'm curious if that is a current Fantastic Four ship we saw in Thunderbolts, or if that is a from then, because it's the ship is already more developed. But I'm like, is their timeline current with ours, or is their 1980 R20 or 1960s R2020?
Tafari has a wall in his house.
No, because like
it's a parallel.
Because what I picked up on is basically how they talked about like, hey, we did that one thing, and I like Reed basically wouldn't admit I do not want to go back into space. I did this to us. This is all my fault, and he kind of held on to that. So they like now that they have a second ship that's actually prepped, I'm like, clearly someone stole it, and either y'all ran away or someone took your kid and ran. But I'm curious because we still need a way to age up all these children. They did it with Billy and Tommy. I'm curious.
Oh, I'm sure by the time they get to, I mean, you see how they aged up Franklin. They really didn't waste a lot of time.
I'm curious if like it's been some years since the ending of this movie that ship pops up in Thunderbolts. And we see teenage Franklin, and then, or something happens, and then Sue probably has to be the one to stop everybody from killing each other.
It's definitely a.
Like,
no, go ahead.
It's at least 5 years. It's been at least 5 years.
Yeah.
On their Earth, on their,
Yeah.
but it's definitely, is parallel with ours, yeah.
Because
it's not 616, it's 828. So it is parallel to 616.
Yeah, because right now he's still
their
a kid.
Culture shock is going to be.
Yeah, because we got Billy and Tommy to magically be teens. I'm curious to what the age up's going to be for young T'Challa and baby Franklin.
But we're going to go to break. We'll be right back. We're going to be talking about the quietly but fantastically, and I'm not using that word correctly, but that's okay. Eyes of Wakanda 4-episode series, written by Mark Bernardin of no less. And we're going to talk about why this was such a quiet release, but why was it such a damn hit? We'll be right back.